Well, hello everyone. This is Renee, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. And today is literally part 3 of my embossing videos. Hopefully they're fairly short and you can enjoy them fairly quickly. You will notice that only part 1 and part 2 are on YouTube. You do need to go to my Facebook page. There is a link in part 1 and there'll be a link in part 2 where you can go to my Facebook page and actually see part 3. So last week I did them on embossing with paste and masks and using color. So there's all kinds of things. And so as usual, it's Monday, it's around 3 o'clock. So we're going to be going live. All right. So I'm just going to say hello to everyone. Hey. And we're going to do part 3 of embossing. Please, again, know that part 2 is on this Facebook page, as is part 1. And last week, as you know, we did these wonderful paste techniques to make these great cards. And this truly is ombre, so it gets from dark to light. And it truly is like a mosaic. It's very glass-like. And if you haven't tried this, please try it. I think you'll really like it. It's really a beautiful and fun effect. All right. So today we're going to do what people, well, it's actually the first thing I did when I started embossing. I didn't really get into the embossing folders too much, which was in part 1, but I got into heat embossing, and that was my first method. And so heat embossing, let's look at what you need. You need something called Versamark, and you want to have a refill. I have a refill for my Versamark. And basically, this is really like a glue, to be honest. So it's very sticky. So you have to use soap and water to wash off everything afterwards. And we'll talk about the masks because I can use masks also. Not only do you need Versamark, but you need these powders. And Stampin' Up! Sells 3 or 4 of the powders. And once you've purchased those, you can get other ones around town. I like to buy from Stampin' Up! Because their embossing powder produces such a smooth and beautiful embossed surface. Not all of them do. So I really do like those, but you can buy any other color. But I'm going to show you how you can get color in your embossed. Now, when you use color, you're going to use what is called the clear embossing powder. And it really has an effect where you can see that, let's see if you can see that. Yeah, there you go. You can see how shiny that surface is, how nice that is. Well, you can use something called Crystal Effects to do something very similar. But Crystal Effects is really for something smaller, I believe. I mean, it'd be hard to do this area, a whole huge area. So embossing would substitute for the shimmer crystal effects. And this is really fun and a great way to get small areas to shine and pop up like that. All right. And then this, I use the gold embossing powder, and you can see how smooth that is and what a nice effect that makes. It's a beautiful powder. Not all powders do that. Okay. I did a double stamping. I want to show you with color, and then on top something else. So we'll look at that in a moment. So you need embossing powder, the Versamark, and with what is called, what I call a heat gun. This is not your standard hair blow dryer, okay? It is quite hot, and you need it that hot to do the embossing. So a hair dryer does not work. You really need the heat gun for embossing. And so this is their heat gun. So pretty much that's all you need. for that. And so I'm going to show you a little bit of how to do this. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this piece of paper around. I'm going to use this. What I usually do, and people use buckets, people do all kinds of different things. I use the old sheets from the kits. I break them up and then use them because they have a slick surface. So it'll be easy, and you'll see why in just a second. So the first thing you want to do, and I think what I'm going to do first is I will go ahead and simply do the inking, and then I will go ahead and do the embossing. So this set is our art gallery set, and is basically a two-step stamping. And so this one, I'm going to use the standard color, just like that. Just like that. And again, I have my water bowl right here. When I start working with other kinds of stuff, I like to have my water bowl around. And then this is the other stamp for, it's that double stamping for that art gallery. And I'm going to do that embossed. So what I'm going to do then, simply take the Versamark, and Versamark is really kind of like glue. And so to get it off, it is good to have soap and water, not just water or wipe it down or anything like that. Really, I find that soap and water is the best. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply do that right over my image. And I'm going to close this. And I am going to show you, I'm going to do one more just to show you the difference, so you can see. So I'm going to do this right below it, or to the side. Maybe I'll do it to this side so that maybe the leaf will still work in here. We'll see. And then I can die cut it out if I want. Again, I'm going to take it off and just put it in my little bowl. And that makes it so much easier, and I don't have to worry about it, and I can wash it later. So now all you need to do, and this is why you need this piece of paper here, is you are going to add the Versamark. Now here, on both of these, I'm going to add the gold, not Versamark, embossing powder. And so this is going to go over this like this. And the nice thing about the embossing powder is that you can reuse it, and you want to reuse it over and over again. And this is why people use tubs for this. They have their powder in a tub, and then they go ahead and now I'm going to die cut this off. So because I'm going to die cut that off, I'm not going to worry about the rest of this. Otherwise, I take my little brush and just clean it all around. I might clean this off because I want to stamp right here my stem, I believe. So, because I could cut that whole thing out with my die cutting machine. And I can clean this up, as you can see. Sorry, I'm just going to blow a little bit. Just like that. If you have a little cornstarch and a little sock, you could do the cornstarch in a little sock, and then that'll keep it from sticking as much. All right, so this beautiful powder is not to be wasted. This is why I use this slick surface. And I like these from the Paper Pumpkin and kit boxes because they're nice and shiny and slippery. And it's an old one. And so then now, all I'm going to do, as you can see here, all I'm going to do is use my heat gun. Now, my heat gun, to do this, I usually, as you can hear, it's loud. I usually go ahead and just have it run for a little bit, and then to get it nice and hot, and then start And you can see it turning. You can see it turning. You can see that turning a different color. See? See, you can see that turning right there. See how that turns? How that turns. Right there on top. It's very hot. Very, very hot. So you're going to be able to see this turn. You have to get it fairly close. I'll show you how that's turning. See how that's turning? This produces a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful flower. And now in this one, you have that gold and that pink effect. See if that light, there you go. There you go. See how that works? Just lovely. And that one too. See how smooth that is? Just nice and bright. All right. So now I'm going to show you how I do that stem. So what I'm going to do with the stem again is I'm going to go ahead and emboss that, or put the Versamark on, sorry. Then I'm going to use clear, and let's see which one is clear. I think this is the clear one. Huh. I think that's clear. I think this is white. Yeah, that's just heat and stick. Oh, no, 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 this is the wrong powder. Ha! This is for the gold. That's the wrong powder. All right. I better not use that one. I'm going to use this one. I have this one in clear. And so I'm going to do that. Did I yet stamp it? I don't think so. I was going to put this other powder that I have is actually for the gold leaf. And you go ahead and once you also stamp with Versamark and then put it on and then put the gold on. And I can actually show you that as well. Okay, so now this, okay, now that we did that, we can go ahead. Oh, I forgot to put the color on. That's what I was going to do first. Sorry. I will do that. You'll see. I will go ahead and just kind of rinse that off in my water. Splish splash. There's my water. Got sidetracked when I saw that powder. I was going to use the wrong powder. Okay, so let's go ahead and try that again. We're going to do that again. All right, now I'll just put that right there. Maybe I'll put it on the other side. We'll see. Okay, so first things first. Green. And what I'm going to do, let's see where that other Versamark is so I don't go over it. It probably will. So I'll have to go to the other side. I can go here. That's fine too. I'm going to go right here. Put that leaf right there. That'll work. Go ahead and do that. First ink it. Then I'm going to go ahead and wash that down again. Now I do have a pad here, which I love, but since I'm using the tub for the Versamark, that's fine. So now what I'm going to do is right over that leaf. Now, you know, the most wonderful machine on earth is a Stamparatus, because I could be doing this all on the Stamparatus. But if you don't have a Stamparatus, what you want to do, and I will have to pull it near me, is you want to take 3 points, identify 3 points and put them together. So, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to, and I know my head might be in the way a little bit, but I have to see the 3 points, so I'm on there. So 3 points, I'm hitting 3 points, and then I know, so I hit that point, and that point, And I actually even went down there after that to make sure, and they were all on the money. So that was good. So the next thing that we're going to do is go ahead and take our clear embossing powder that I just spilled. That's okay. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. So now what I'm going to do is, once that's done, that's good. So I'm going to put that there. Now, I don't want to lose that powder. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that mess so that it doesn't get worse. Just like a sweeper. I'll put that to the side. Open this up. Put this in. Close this up. What I am going to do is I am going to take this off. Because to be honest, I don't want that to blow all over my room. So I can take that. Let me just do that for now. It's always good to have a second mat laying down there. Okay, that's all good. Put that away. And so now I did that fine. So again, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn that on. And so then you see, it takes a while to heat up. That's what's happening. As soon as this is heated, you're all set to go. It'll start doing its thing. And you'll see it change. As I move down, see it change. See? Yeah, you can see. And then I do my stem. And then that's what you do there. And you're good to go. And your whole flower then is all set. All right. So that is heat embossing. That's pretty much all you do. And so again, if you want to gold leaf, and I might as well show you that since I do have that sticky powder and all it is the Versamark. Let's see if I still have that. I don't know if that would work now. It probably won't there. So I'll use a different piece of paper. I'll use something over here. And I will take some other flower here. And I will take this flower right here. It's a pretty flower. Just to show you what the golding will do. Actually, what I want to do, I might not want to do all of that because that'll be too much actually. That'll be way too much golding. So all I'm going to do is take this little piece so I can show you that. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to go ahead and stamp that. And again, just put that into water. And then I'm going to use the glue now. That glue that becomes the paste. I'm going to put a little bit of that on there. Again, that too, like the other one. is the same thing. So this is what they call, again, this is what they call the heat and stick powder is what this is. And so now all I do is I heat this, and it's a powder again. You can hardly see it. And then now it glistens. I think I got it. And then you take your gold, leafing. That's just another use of this heat gun. And I'm pretty good with this, so I just take that. And with this, you can either use a sponge, or I usually use a dauber, but it doesn't matter. See if I didn't do it too much. I might have heated it too much or not enough on that. I think I did not heat it enough. I don't think I heated it too much. Let's see what I did. Let's see if it gets sticky. Might have heated it too much, but you put that sticky powder on there. It does work. It has worked. I might have just put a little too much. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I just didn't heat it up enough. And then I just take the gold leafing, and you can use your finger as well. It has a different effect, definitely has a different effect than the other process, but it does raise it. And I just putting that gold back in. Again, you've seen me open this in my other videos. It's fine. You don't have to have another basket, but this is the idea. Let's see, this is the idea. I didn't do it as well as I could have. Sorry about that, but the idea is there. See, and then it's just these little flecks. And this is how it comes out with these little flecks of gold. It's very, very pretty. But I probably did not use that well. I'm sorry about that. Okay. But the other thing it does, and this is also fun, and I will show you this, it does a puff paint. It does do a puff paint. So the heat gun is multi-purposed. That's one thing I wanted to show you with that. And sometimes I have to recut that. Well, I'm not being very lucky. That's what happens when you don't practice something and you decide at the last minute to show you. That'll teach me. There it goes. It'll come out now. See, there you go. There's your puff paint. Now this will come out crazy, but I just thought I'd show you this. This is fun stuff. I really like this. This is the puff or snow. It makes snow or puffs up. It's really kind of fun. And it again uses the heat gun. So I wanted to show you that there's more than one purpose to this heat gun. Of course, I put tons of it on now, which is fine. And you can see that when you put this puff paint on, you do have to be a little careful to keep it a little further away before you actually, there it starts going. You'll start seeing it go. There it goes. There it goes. Not hot enough. Again, this really does need to get pretty hot. And it is kind of fun. I have done hills and snow and stuff like that with this. As you can see, it's great for making snowbanks. But that's another use for this heat gun. Kind of fun. All right, so you get the idea. So the only other thing I wanted to show you is that you can use the masks as well. Now, this is the one set of masks that I showed you last week. This is another set of masks. All right, so you can use the masks as well to do this process. And so I'm going to show you real quick with a mask. I'm going to use green, and you can use ink as well. I will tell you that it does, again, it's glue, right? So it does affect your mask. So realize that, and you have to wash it with soap and water. And they say soap and water well, I think it's a little bit beyond soap and water, but what I did is I did some soap and water, and I can't tell if you can see that, but I think you can, where it's kind of changed it a little bit. And then what I did, I left this one because I knew I was going to use it again, but soap and water. And then what you do is you use your 70% rubbing alcohol on a paper towel, and you can go ahead then, and with that, you can go ahead and wipe it down, and that'll clean it off, and I'll show you that in a second. When we do this, the only way to do this is in this fashion. And of course, again, you want this to stay down. Some people just pat it in there. I pat and rub. And I'm going to close it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that mask off. I can see right there that I missed a spot. So completely missed a spot. So I'm going to do that over again. That's good. That looks good. Take that off again. I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to wash it with soap and water. Then I'm going to put a little alcohol, and I'll even show you how I do that. Now, this is just using the Versamark. All right. And again, missed a little spot, so I would go over that again, of course, and be a little more fastidious. And I'm going to use the clear. I could use the white, but I'm going to use the clear. So like a crystal effect on that. So it'll just darken it and give it a good background color. It'll just emphasize the effect. And that's how you play with this. Put it down. Lift this. Don't lose your powder. Close that. That still has a little powder on there. See, I'm using my plastic board again. keeps me from making too much of a mess when I do all of this kind of embossing. I'm going to be done with that. You can absolutely color this. You can use a color. You first put the ink on, then you wipe down with a paper towel your embossing with ink so that it, doesn't ink up your Versamark, and then put the Versamark on, and then go ahead and put the powder on. So it's going to be very similar to the other technique where you put ink first, clean it off, and then go ahead and put the Versamark on. And that pearlescent one I did that, and it gave it a bit of a shadow, which was great. And again, this always, there you go. You can really see that happening now. See that gun heated up. See how that works? You're getting a good view of that. And so you can do this with your masks. Anytime you use Versamark, again, it's like a glue. So it's not going to keep your stuff pristine. It won't hurt it. You do have to wash it off with soap and water. There's no doubt about that. With the masks, you could use a little bit of alcohol, and I'll show you how. This is a great effect. And you just make sure that you do it all over, that you get it all over. Takes a couple of runs. You get every spot. You see it all glistening. This is just lighter and darker. Just as if you stamped it, they'd be lighter and darker. That's okay. Has a good effect. If you want it all the same, then of course you would need to go ahead and, take your time, be more careful, that kind of thing. But I just want you to get the idea of the procedure for this. I still have some spots, I can tell. And so I will have to continue a little bit longer on this. Right here. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. There you go. There you go. There you go. There it is. Yeah, there it is. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. And then, of course, it has to dry. And so with this one, I did the pearlescent. I did a little red background, and then did a pearlescent type of procedure on it. Looks very nice. On this one, I just did the white powder. I just stamped in Versamark. I just rubbed it in Versamark, and then went ahead and put the white powder on. This is the one I used. All right. And you can see I cleaned it off. You can see it's quite well cleaned off. I'll move that. That's quite well cleaned off. All right. All right. And so I just went ahead, put that on, put the Versamark on there, and then put the white powder on and heat it. And so on that one, I inked it first, wiped it off from the ink, put the Versamark on, put the embossing powder, and heated it. Both of these, I used a little rubbing alcohol, just 70% alcohol. I'm going to show you that in a moment. Let this dry. But you can see that nice glossy finish. That'll be for a nice background for a fun card. All right, let me show you here. So this is the 70% alcohol, just rubbing alcohol. And I'm not going to put too much on there. All I do is take a paper towel. This is good. And I'm just going to do this. That's all. It's wet. That's all I need. I don't want any more, for sure. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry that. Just a little bit, just to show you, find out where that is. And then I'm going to use the alcohol just like this. And you don't want to, you don't want to drown it in alcohol. And you don't want to let it sit in alcohol because you don't want to damage the mask. But you can use a little rubbing alcohol to get that excess glue off. And then it looks a lot better. Do not do this on your stamps, please. Do not do this on your photopolymer stamps. Okay, so that will be it, and that'll clean it off. And if I feel like I need to do one more try, I'll do that. But that's basically all I do. So no one mentions that very much. And I thought, well, that's kind of important because you feel like you ruined your mask. And so here we go. I've got this card. I'm going to, you'll see this picture on here eventually. Then I'm going to do this right here. I'm going to put this one down like that. That was my idea. It's a Valentine's. Then I'm going to put this down right here, just like this. Now this is pretty thick. I don't think I would do that very often. And what I did is I used the brush and some pink. I put it on there and then I wiped it off, and this stays, so it is not as white. So you can use your blending brushes and go ahead and ink it up and get it a little on the same coloring, so it's not as stark white. Then I stole some fun things from the last paper pumpkin, which I really liked. And then I stamped a cute little heart here. And then I die cut my little Happy Valentine's. And I thought that something like that would be a great little card with that embossed area down there. And this actually can, probably what I would do is put this further down. Opa. Didn't do that right. So that would go there. And that would go there. That would go there and there. And there you go, more like that. And that's how that would work. So there you go, a little cute card. Okay, everybody, that's pretty much it. Versamark, you want your embossing powder, you want your heat gun. And that is all you need for this process, for this type of embossing. This is, again, part 3. You have part 1, which used embossing folders, part 2, which used the masks with the paste, And then part 3 is the actual embossing that you do with your stamps and ink and heat gun. So here are 3 types of ways that you can emboss your items. And if I have a few seconds more, well, I would like to retry that error that I made because I know it can come out good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some little grass, this little chick. I'll try this one more time to show you that it does work, because that was my mistake. I'm using the Easter Friends right now. That's really cute. And that is the white powder. There is going to be the sticky powder somewhere, gold. And then this is going to be the heat and stick powder. So I'm going to do this cute little chick. Make sure I have a lot of Versamark on there. I'm going to go ahead and put that chick on there. Then what I'm going to do is put that in there. I'm going to put that heat and stick powder right on there. There you go. This is why I always use the little mat there, because you are going to get some of this off here. Sorry about the time if I'm taking a lot of time. This stuff does take some time always, because of the fact that you have to clean it up right away, because otherwise if I blow it with the heat, then of course, as you can imagine, it's going to blow all over my room, which I kind of don't want. All right, so let's see how we do this time. Okay, so there it is. There it is. I can see it change. It glistened. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to take my gold leaf now, and I'm going to go ahead. And what I do when I do this, just so that you can see, I cover the whole thing first and pat it down. So make sure I have the whole thing patted down. And whatever goes down, I pretty much lose. And so then you can use your finger. And when I did over glue here, but I did put too much on there. As you can see, my bird, and I overstamped, it got a little bit everywhere. But the idea, I did want to show you that it's not like the embossing in terms of it's a smooth surface. It does come out a little rough. And of course, it'd come out better than this. I made a mess. I don't think I've improved it. Oh, well, but it, what can I say? I should have practiced some more before I did this. Sorry about that, but I did want you to see how that comes out, and that is raised and that is embossed. I just went ahead and had glue here and here and here and put too much glue all over the place. but you can see him. He's right there. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Talk to you next Monday on a new topic. All right. So once I'm going to say goodbye to my live stream. And there we go. And so thank you very much. And I hope you saw some of those embossing techniques. And sorry about the gold. All right. Thank you. And please like. I really appreciate it if you would please like at the bottom and go ahead and go click on more information that's on the right. It's a little arrow type thing. And you can go to number 2 that talks about all that, part 2 that talks all about that embossing with those masks that turned out beautiful. All right. Bye-bye now, and thank you very much.